Is this damn thing on? I guess it is. I guess it is. Hello, guys. What's going down? Being eat up by skeeters. But it sure feels really nice down here today. It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. So, these are going to get long. This is one of the longest ones that that I've done so far. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this up. We're talking about Matthew. We're talking about Matthew, and we're in a place in the Bible around at the chapter's end of 23. I always like to back it up, find out just what's going on before this, because they all run together, and it helps understand just what the hell they're talking about. All right. But anyways, here's what's going to happen is we're going to back it up into the last 3 verses of chapter 23. That'd be number 5, the body. All right, the sacrifice. That would be 37, 38, and 39. And of course, that just happens to be a 1 and a 2 and a 3. All right. It's a wonderful way of starting things off. All right. So what we have over here in the body part, and body is basically 2 also, right? So, O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent to thee, how often would I have gotten, or how often would I have gathered my children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. All right, that's number 1. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. All right. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Those are those 1, 2, and 3. Now, what I want to get out of this is from Jesus' mouth, and he's talking to these Pharisees, and he's in this in the temple. All right. Now he's getting ready to leave out of there. Now, what he is talking is about your house. Your house is left desolate. The house is your mind. And you can stand around and look at both sides of it, because the wrath gets poured out on both sides. It gets cleaned out. And this is when you're standing in this holy place, all right? Because you can look and you can just see it, the abominations from the desolation. And it's just amazing, all right? And here, this is where he went back that last bit, because it sets it up. He's telling this to the Pharisees. This is those religious people, all right? This is religion in itself, okay? Just plain out the religion. And they had a religious class. These people ruled over everything, all right? So from chapter 24, we're going to start getting into the works. And this is going to be everything that has to do with making it up to this temple. And it also it repeats its story 5 times, which is this idea of the sacrifice. It's just beautiful how it's written. All right, and I want you to listen. I want you to gain an ear to this, because it even asks you wants you to understand what they're saying. Okay. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be one. There shall be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? Which shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? All right, so I'm going to stop there for a moment. This is number 1, 2, and 3. This is setting you up. Because this temple, this is an outside thing, and he's like, come on, you guys, nothing's going to happen. He's sitting on the Mount of Olives. They're coming unto him. So he has left the temple, but on his own self, Jesus went out, and he departed from the temples, and his disciples came to him. All right, so when you see those, it's very, very far that the multitudes and all these other things, because they represent your skin. They came to him. Remember, they all bow to him. Our skin, our five senses, all bow to this, to you. Number 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. This is number 4. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. This is number 5. This is, many people, many, a human being or something like that is going to come in there in his name. All right? I say that he is Christ, The thing is, I pondered that, I said, what if I can come out and just change my name to Christ like these here? But, he tells you, don't believe this. All right? This is number 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. This is number 6. That's what this whole thing is about. Number 6. And I'm going to highlight that every time we get to it. For the nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and there shall be pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All of these are the beginnings of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. They shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. This is number 9. So what we did is we really just went through, we went through just the first stories of this, okay? And what do we get? Then they shall deliver you up, and you shall be afflicted, and they shall kill you, and you shall be hated by all the nations in my name's sake. This is what will be the happening once you get up there, because the wrath is being poured out on your lower mind. You're being cleaned out of all that garbage that you've been pushing in there for a long time. And believe me, if this is the first time you ever heard of this, it ain't the garbage that you have from this lifetime. It's probably for many, many lifetimes, because for a long time, for over 2,000, 3,000, or 4,000 years, people have been scared away from this side of themselves. They've had heaven and God literally scared right out of them. Right? It's called selling your crown. So anyways, what do we get here? It's the beginning of sorrow. So this is the first thing just told you all this whole idea of climbing this ladder is you have to do this. These are from here to there, before you go into boom. All of this stuff has to be done first. Someone says they talk to God, they've been there, unless they've been here this way, they ain't talking. They can't believe anything that anyone says. If I told you I talk with God, I would be saying, yeah, I go up and talk with God all the time, but I don't remember a damn thing, I didn't remember hearing nothing, I don't know what it looks like, nothing. Shit, nothing, But I sure did go up there and wanting to chat with them, That's why you have your witness, because the witness knows you tried. And we've been told in these stories that you just keep on asking and you keep on knocking. You be that, persistent neighbor. You're always just talking and knocking and come on, please help me, Lord. I want you, You have to come to a point, save me. Oh God, save me. That's the sorrows. And this child is always born here. This is the firstborn that we have to give up, That's and we're giving it up. That's giving it up to God, to ourselves. This little baby, this little light, isn't going to go anywhere. First, it's going to go and it's going to turn the light on. First, it's going to connect mom and dad together, and then it's going to sit inside of you and grow. And as soon as you can get it going on, the better. But then this beautiful light then kind of shines out on you, and you affect the world around you in such beautiful things. Just think about that. If there's only like 12 or 13 of us, that are actually trying to do this, we don't know if our lights are on or not. I can tell. I feel mine is on. I've been turning the light on for a long time, but here, let's go on out of here. But this is what this is. This whole story is about this, so don't be afraid of it. All right. So what do we have here? Let's start over again with a new beginning. It says, "And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another." This is 10, which starts all over again with 1. "And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many." That's under 2. So many of God's creations, many of you and I, are going to grow up, and we're going to deceive many people. All right, there's false prophets, we talk about them all the time. It's all these evangelists and all these people that are making money off the end of times, telling everybody that, oh, you're going to be killed, and you better be all ready to go, you better have, this is going to happen, and it's this stirring up of the garbage out in mankind, and this is being drunk off that bitch, all right? And when I say that, I mean that whore bitch that's riding on the backs of most men. All right. So anyways, number 3, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." Well, it's the iniquity is that, they're just not getting there. Well, your skin is one of those things. You can't get out of your skin, there's a problem there, If you didn't know that, if you had to get out of your skin, there's a problem there, All right? If you knew that you had to get out your skin and you're afraid to, well, there's a problem there too, right? Oh, but number 4 here, number 13 that is, "But he who shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved." So you have to make it to the end. 6th chakra is not the end. You still got 1 more to go, all right? And, there's actually the effects of that, which is, having a little party and enjoying yourself. And then there's this, hey, I've got a whole new mind now, all right? A new mind. All right, now we've got number 14, all right? "And the gospel of this kingdom shall be preached in all the world and witnessed unto all nations, and then shall the end come." All right? "When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand." All right, that is number 15. Now I just need to stop there for just a moment. "When you go up, when ye forward there, ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by this, stand in the holy place." This is the idea of going inside and cleaning the inside of the cup. So it is mostly this idea that Jesus even tells the Pharisees and these religious people they don't go in themselves, and they block out those people that want to enter within. They say that they got dirtiness and death and stuff like that. I'm going to do the next one on this idea of what this idea of this desolation and dirty is, and they're talking about the inside of you is just filthy and dead and decay and smelly and rotten. That's what they're all about. And that's this idea of going inside, this Buddhist philosophy of going inside and cleaning house. Then you're balanced. You're frankincense and myrrh, they say. This idea, you clean on the outside and clean on the inside. So, it's this idea of bringing things together. Jesus. All right, so what we get here, it says, "Let them which are in Judea flee to the mountain." That's number 16. We're going to go on. It's going to end at 18. "Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is on the field return back to take his clothes. We're going to end right there. Because this is a whole nother story, right? They're supposed to be going on to like 5 different stories. But this one here, those people in Judea, they need to flee to the mountain. Those are the higher aspects of yourself. And they flee into the mountain. They flee to the east. And Judea is the Judaism, the guys that think they pitch their tent towards the east. All right. They just flee to the mountain, which is nice. That's number 7. This idea, oh, shit's about to happen, right? So they're prepared. The good guys are going off. We've said this a bunch of times in these stories. Oh, you guys, my good guys need to go. They're over there, and then you look up that name, and it usually means something about mountain, something to the east. Always. All right. So what do we get here? If to let him which is on the housetop not come down. That's actually 6 is the top ring of the ladder. Right from this point, there's a window or a door before you're on the roof. So and you're not going to come down into your house. You want to stay up there. That's the idea, because you're inside of your house. This is your house, the vessel. All right. And of course, when you're out in the fields, it says, the field is your left mind. When you're out there, don't come back looking for your clothes. Stay out in the field naked. This is what you're supposed to be doing when you're in this part of the mind. You're being cleaned out. There's no room for you to go back or go down. All right, don't look for your clothes. And it says, and neither him that which is in the field return to his clothes. Right. All right, so let's start again. Starting again at 19, all right, which is a 1. It starts all over again. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulations, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. All right? Those 3 are going to set up this next one, because, they're just talking about the same wrath. They're talking about the same thing that's going to be poured out, these tribulations and stuff like that. So I wouldn't get hung up on the abomination, desolation. This is, we want to overcome that, okay? And except those days be shortened, that there should be no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sakes, those days shall be shortened. All right, here's another one that I've listened to some people who are freaked out about, that they think that the elect people are going to be saved because they've gone in these mountains and all this stuff. That's an outside thing. You're the elect because you decided to come on. You're the chosen one. You are the Jew that is an inwardly person. Anyone can be this Jew. Anyone can be this perfect idealist human. All right, that can harness the two different sides of his mind together and honor mother and father and walk the way of Jesus Christ. And so you would see that, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. I'm in my 50s, I've been trying to do this for 10 years, but it finally got me, all right? So I'm in one of the elect, all right? It's not someone outside, because the way it works is this, Jesus and these God, they just don't come down there and knock on your door and make you into one of them. It's a procedure that you have to go in and knock on their door, and if you're ready, they're there for you. If you're not ready, then they're not. Then you just have to keep being there. You have to keep trying for it. Watch what happens here, okay? How this works out. All right. And so that was number 22. So that was 4. Unless those days be shortened, you can change your world. You can change your world by going up and get your rapture on today. Delta is ready when you are. Heaven is at hand. God is of the living, not the dead. Right? Listen to all those sayings. Number 23. Then if any man shall say to you, Lo, there is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. If someone's going to be deceiving the masses, it's going to be the elect out there in the real world. But it says if it were possible that they would even stir my mind. I doubt it. I'm totally away from whatever I see on the outside. I've even gone as far as to tell some older woman, which she's a beautiful gal, told me this story about Jesus saving her, God saving her, and how he touched her and stuff like that. And I just no. She's been living with that for like 50 years, and I think I just they say, I should have just shut up and let her keep on. But, that's just a shame. It's a shame, I'm doing what Jesus would have done. He would have said, that wasn't my dad. My dad. No. Everything you just said does not equate to something that he would do or say. And what she was doing, if I could interject in here, is she was going to kill herself as a child. And she just reached out, and this is the way the stories kind of work out. But she reached out, looked up in the air, and asked God for help to take care of her. The abominations that we've learned of in our Bible are people that are watching the sunrise, the Easter morning sunrise, with their backs towards the temple, and they're watching the sunrise. That's an abomination. God doesn't come in there and save them while they're doing this, all right? He just looks at that as they're looking the wrong way. That's an abomination to him. He's not going to say, they just working the wrong way. They got it wrong, I know that they really mean. I really know that they really mean. But, you'll find that that's what lip service is, when you're giving lip service to the Lord. And they just talked about that. And he says, they do love me. They do worship me. In vain they worship me. But it doesn't get through to him. He's not going to come down and save you if you're going to kill yourself when you reach up and ask him for help. If you knew the correct way of doing it. And she said something grabbed her and touched her. And I said, oh my God, She just believes all these years. And she has this beautiful story all recited and things. I said, no, ma'am. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. That's what happens. That's what happens when you... I've been on this side of the Lord for some time now, and I'm beginning to really understand how the science of this Jesus and God work, all right? And it's not as hard as all these other people make it out to be, and it should just be this little Bible here that we learned how to do all by ourselves. So anyways, let's see here. As for these false, this is number 24. And there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and they shall show good signs and wonders, inasmuch, and if it were possible, they could deceive the very elect. All right, so this is number 6. Number 7, behold, I have told you before. All right. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. Number 9, for as lightning cometh from the east, and shineth unto the west, so shall also the coming of Son of Man be. That's the end, that's 9. Lightning coming from east to west, and it only has to go that far, this is the same as the coming of man. All right. And you'll know later on that when they say that he comes up in the clouds, and he's got all his angels with him, and he's blowing a trumpet, and, that's you. That's you coming up. It's just really neat. All right, so here we go again. Started at number 28. And wheresoever the carcass is, there will be eagles be gathered together. Immediately after the tribulation of these days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from the heavens, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. All right, that's the first three. All right, it's really pretty, What's going to happen just after all of this that they're talking about? This is what they just said. What's going to happen after this happens, Wheresoever the carcass is, there will be gathered together these eagles. This is this idea, of taking you, in some of these places, they feed you to birds when you're dead so they don't take you to heaven. But this here is a symbolic idea that whenever you go down, it's the bird that comes in, the female energy or the damsel that takes your head up to the mother, all right, takes you, the spiritual side of you, all right, leaving the body to your disciples, to the multitudes, because that's where they are. So it says, so immediately after the tribulation, so you now know that all of these works that we're talking about, the 1 through 6, this idea, the 6 days, this covenant of the 7 days, right? We're now in the midst of it is what they're talking about, all right? And that all of those things are about your tribulations. And so, when you get up there, this is the abominations and all that crap, all right? And so, what happens, on that day, it's darkened on the 6th rung, things get quiet, we start to pass through the moon and all that, there's colors, the changes as we go waxed into another, into another phase of our life. Okay, so that's 1, 2, and 3. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of heaven to the other. That's number 4. So they're talking about our world, the heaven. There's a world. This is also joining them all together. So this shows you that that's you. You're coming up. The Son of Man is coming up in the cloud. This is because it's a mist. You can't see it. This is the whole idea. You're in a fog, all right? And so it says, now learn the parable of the fig tree, number 5, about the body. So learn about the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and put forth new leaves, ye know that summer is nigh, which some of they're talking about. In the stories, what happens is you're going around this clock, so to speak, and you're almost into 3, right? That's Judah. I mean, the lion. That's the Leo. It's the hottest time of the day. It's summertime and stuff like that. But this is when, you're being exalted. You're about to be purged of everything. Which is on the 7th chakra. Okay. And it's a great thing to have. All right, here's 6. So likewise, ye, when ye shall see all of these things, know that it's near, even at the doors. This is 6. We even, it's right up there. In most of these stories, this is where remember the 5 musicians, or is it the 4? The 4 musicians, right? Is it? I think it is. It's a 4 musicians. Maybe it's a 5. I'm trying to remember. I think it's 4, right? It's the worlds, and once they got all in line, they fell through this window into this little building. All right, well, that's where they are. Everybody's on this window. Jack climbed down his windows and stuff like that to get onto the beanstalk, to make his little way up and stuff like that. He lived in the attic, All right, so anyways, what am I looking for here? Parable of the fig tree, and so likewise. Okay, so number 7, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all of these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But at the day and the hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. That's number 36. That's the end of another line. So 9 is a consciousness, that the idea 36 represents 9. So, but the day and the hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but only my Father. I'm going to flip you out. You're a Father. You're the only one that knows when this day is going to happen. You just have had to have enough. I've had enough. Let my people go. Let me go. Let me be on my own. All right? Let me be the master of myself. I want to be my own boss. I want to be bridled to the Lord, now that I know that that's an option. So we're about here, we're coming down kind of to the end. I'm going to just tell you that, It says here, but in the day of Noah, see, they've got to repeat, they have to go through 5 sequences of this, because it's about, it's about shutting down the mind. And that's really what that's talking about. But as the days of Noah were, so shall be the coming of the Son of Man. As in that day they were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving marriage, until the day that Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of man be. That's the first 3. This idea of the flood, this is, the washing, this washing of the body. It's this idea of purging and cleaning the lower earth, or earth itself, so it can start all over again, fresh and brand new. And that's what all these stories are about, the new mind, which is the new wine, it'd be the wineskin. The new heaven is the new wine. It's the new wine in the new wineskin. And so what you're asked to do is just to change your mind. And it doesn't mean like going from here to there. It means to go in and change yourself from being a half-brained person into someone who's using both their brains, both sides of their brain. That's what makes them one. And that's when they're only worshiping one God, Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, all in one. That's you. All right, so let's see what happens. Here's a whole nother story. Then shall 2 in the field be there shall be 2 in the field, one shall be taken and the other left. 2 women shall be grinding together at the mill. The one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye not know when that hour the Lord doth come. But know this, that the good man of the house had known and watched the thief would come, he would have watched, and would have not allowed, or would not have suffered his house to be broken up. We'll come back to that. Suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, who is the Lord hath made ruler of his household, to give them meat in good reason, or in good season. This is who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give him meat in good season. This is 9. All right, so I'm going to quit there for just a moment. This is a good man that goes in his house. Your house is your mind. Okay, all right. If you stand watch, this idea, Jesus came to, to the third watch, the fourth watch. It's all about these watches. This is about the particular time of day, and this is the 6th hour of the day. It was usually, when Jesus dies on the cross, it was dark after the 6th hour. Remember, that's 6th. Everything goes dark, and the sun doesn't shine, and the moon doesn't show its light. So let's see. Who is a faithful servant? This is going to be telling us what's the next. It's the next group. It's just going to be the last ones. Okay, I think, if we're correct. Who is a good servant? Who's going to be a good servant? Well, we know right now. We've done it a couple of times. That right now it's the cupbearer, and he wins over the baker. All right, and again. We're duality, so there'll be 2 in the field, one shall be taken and the other left. The left side's always left. That's the skin. When this happens, your carcass, wherever you are, it's wherever you are sitting down and meditating. The birds will come and take you up. So you don't have to be in a special place. That's why there's no who cares about opened up. You don't need these temples, no matter how beautiful they are. You don't need these Pharisees. You don't need scribes. You don't need any of that crap. And once you learn this, you don't even need the Bible anymore. You really don't. You don't need all these stories that tell you all these things. All right? Once you know the procedure, you just go for it. So let's see, what else do I got? Is this thing even still working? Yeah. So this is the duality, this idea that one, because this was about 4 and 5, so it's our world. So women grinding in the mill, they'll be left, and the left will be left. One side, one goes up, the other is left. All right. So this is this rapture. All right. And of course, standing watch, number 7. If he doesn't, if he's not standing watch, this idea of standing watch, if you're physically watching something like that, then, because this has to come to you when you're not watching, is the way this is working. So it's not coming to the whole world, it's coming to the individual when they finally decide to do it. This will be their end times, and they'll go up and say, damn, all this terrible stuff, I cried, and it took me a couple of weeks to get over the earthquakes in various places, because I just found what a fool I was, and how much time I wasted and stuff. But I quickly gave up that idea of wasting my time on church, because I wouldn't know all this stuff had I not pursued religion. I didn't know that I was drunk on the wine on that bitch. Oh, it's almost over. So here it is. So this 9, did I do it right? Yeah 9 was the last thing I read. That was number 45. All right. Who then is a faithful and wise servant? All right. What? That's a question. So here's the last one. And there happens to be only 6 left. All right. And that's 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, and 51. So it's another 1 through 6. Just how interesting that the chapter that's talking about 6 ends at such a thing. So let's see, what is a good servant. Blessed is that servant. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Number 2. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. 3. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming. 4. And shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken. 5. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of. And 6. And shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. And there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. It shows you that, it says, maybe he didn't want to come get me this night. Haven't someone even mentioned that to me? I just don't know that I've made it up there yet. I don't think it's working and all that. It's a person that is trying, is what he's talking about. It's about will earlier, about with a dog in there. It's your will. All right, I know you want it so bad. And when I'm fishing with these people out there, I'm fishing with some honestly beautiful people. It's sometimes you'll get assholes, because they're part of those too. And but you would find that that's my part. Is I said, I just know you love this God so much. You, if anyone that I've talked to in these past months or what have you and listened to, deserve to know more and have this connection to God. If someone should have it, it would be you. And it's the way it's been on a lot of people that I speak to. And that's why I would go in. They say, you're an ass, And I said, well, you just don't know that I'm trying to help you, And people would say, well, why do you anyways? You don't have to, I don't know why. I don't know why I spend so much time speaking with dead people. I really don't. But, I'm good at it, I think. I've been practicing. So you'll see here that there's nothing to be afraid of with this. They were just talking about the end time. The end time is this, when this is it. You have taken and made it up to that particular part of your mind that the next chapter, all the hell and brimstone and everything should break loose. That, I looked ahead on my last chapter, it should be a 7 also, that chapter 15? Yeah, no, 16. Yeah, chapter 16. I looked for fire and brimstone in there all over, I couldn't find it, it was like kind of disappointing. But it does talk about works. So it's a little subtler, whereas right now we're getting closer to the end of things when, things start cooking. So anyways, the of that whole chapter, that desolation and thing, that's a very small part of the whole thing. And it's just showing you what your mind might look like on the inside if you got a chance to look at it, And it's the idea that it's a pit, and it's filthy, and it's dirty, and it's never been cleaned. Not in your lifetime, maybe not in many lifetimes. And it's about time to get in there and clean the house, That's why my little, my devil is in that mural there. He's kind of mad, and he's got his little soap, his wrath soap, cleaning the house. Tribulation, the day of atonement and all of this stuff, and rapture, and the day of the Lord, end times. There's nothing scary about any bit of it. It's a glorious thing to become reborn in the name of the Lord. I'll chat with you soon. Love you. This is a long one, but it's worth it. I think so.